Hello and welcome back. This is Deb Holland here at the spectacular Lake Superior. A 3-day storm is just now breaking and we are going to get right back to our videotaping. This is my favorite place on earth. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to continue our teaching series about my book, Leaders, My Leaders, Your Journey to Awesomeness. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about leadership of the team. When you have a group of people working together for a common goal, you can end up getting exponential results because together we are more than we are separate. As a leader, you owe your team your best, your absolute best. Dysfunction breeds dysfunction. We have talked about this quite a bit in the previous videos where we have talked about if you as a leader are dysfunctional, then you are going to breed dysfunction in your team. You're not going to catch when other people are dysfunctional, and if you do catch it, you're not going to care. And worst case scenario, your dysfunction is going to feed someone else's, and someone else's is going to feed yours. I have seen entire groups of people who are working together end up facing severe consequences because people's dysfunctions fed off each other, and everybody thought that what they were doing was okay because they told each other it was okay. They weren't interested in the mission, they weren't interested in vision, values, none of the good things that work is supposed to be about, and none of the things that help organizations thrive and grow. And they ended up facing some pretty ugly consequences because other people never thought that their behavior was okay, and eventually their behavior caught up to them. So those are really sad situations. Don't let that be you. Root out your own dysfunction, deal with it, turn it into something healthy, and do the same thing for each member of your team. There's no such thing as neutral. One of the biggest mistakes I have ever seen or heard leaders make is when they say, if you don't do anything about it, problems will eventually resolve themselves. No, they won't. And I have heard other leaders say, I am Switzerland, and I'm not getting involved in this. Yet they're the leader, and it's their job to resolve problems, and it's their job to resolve conflict, and it's especially their job not to instigate drama or chaos. Bottom line, as a leader, you're accomplishing one of two things. You are either achieving results because you're a good enough leader. None of us are perfect. You just want to be a good enough leader. Or you are having an adverse impact. Period. End of story. There is no middle ground. Most things in life, there are shades of gray. That's absolutely true. But in leadership, there's black and white. And that's it. There is either you are good enough or you're having an adverse impact. There's no middle ground. And your reputation is going to accompany your staff everywhere that they go. So if you have a reputation as a weakling, or as I once heard a leader described as a spineless jellyfish, which was actually pretty accurate looking back, that reputation accompanies each member of your team everywhere that they go, and pretty soon there's a ripple impact out in the community about you. Leaders that make bad mistakes, leaders that are dysfunctional, leaders that are malicious in their intent, those kinds of folks, your reputation precedes you. And as people begin to hear more and more about what a jerk you are, how weak you are, how whatever you are, that can really have a damaging effect on your future career prospects, on opportunities that you might have moving into the future. And it's the more bad incidents happen, the more it cements your reputation as a total failure, an epic failure as a leader. Your misdeeds will precede you. You are not operating in a vacuum. You are not operating, even if you're in the shadows, people can still see you. And some people are especially adept at seeing into the shadows and seeing the nonsense and calling it out for what it is. And once that flashlight gets shined into the corner, the cockroaches begin to scatter. So people are going to hear about what you're doing wrong, even if you think you're hiding it well, you're really not. And the day will come when you realize that you won't be able to avoid the obvious nature of your flaws and your sins, if you will, any longer. And that's going to be a real tough day for you. So the best thing you can do is get yourself under control now, heal your dysfunctions now, and move forward with your team. The biggest thing that you need to keep in mind with your team is that they're people. Don't break people. Don't create hardships for them. It is your job as the leader to ease their stress, to make their job easier. That's what you're supposed to be doing for them. And you don't ever push someone beyond their boundaries. Don't ever push someone beyond their breaking point. And know your people well enough to know where those breaking points are. What works for them, what motivates them, what stresses them, what demoralizes them, and lead each person of the team accordingly. So, this part of the teaching series, this part of the book is going to be about how to properly feed and care for a team. So how do we do this? Well, we have to have 3 key aspects of our leadership right on track. We've got to have interpersonal excellence, we've got to strategically develop others, and we've also got to learn the art of consequences. So we're going to have a lot of fun in the next few weeks in this particular teaching series. I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, come on over and join me on my website, debhollandlcsw.com, and also connect to my Facebook page from there. I have fresh new content for you guys every single day. Have a great week. I'll see you guys next time.